Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. Now, for the benefit of those of you who are not familiar with the channel or are watching the channel for the first time, the reason why it is called Uncommon Sense because here on this platform we discuss everyday issues where we try to find logical solutions, but not everyone uses logic. So for that reason, it is called Uncommon Sense. I want to let everybody know that I'm currently live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter. I also want to let everybody know that the subscriber vote is currently enabled. What does that mean? That means if you wish to enter a comment in the chat and you're not a subscriber, you need to subscribe. I'm sorry, you need to subscribe to the channel. Okay. Of course, I want to give a huge shout out to all those who have already subscribed to the channel, whether it be from day one or just recently this week. I really do appreciate all the love and support that you give me. I also want to give a huge shout out to all those who follow me on social media. And I want to give a huge shout out to all those who allow me to enter into your devices. So, what I'm going to ask you to do is the following. If you have not done so, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe, like, and hit the bell notification to all. So, therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. Okay. And also, if you are new or wishing to appear on the panel, if I do not know you, you're going to need to come up in the backstage. So that way I'll make sure that you're not going to flash anything inappropriate, like as far as genitalia of some sort. Before we get into the topic for tonight, we're going to have a short episode of what the heck this is. Now, you might be wondering who is the recipient of the what the heck this is reward this week. I'm this one's recipient. This week's recipient, without doubt, is my cable provider, Optimal Cable. Now, I'm going to explain to you what happened. I decided to add additional service to my account, and I have made 2 appointments for the technician to come to bring in an additional cable box to add an additional television set to the cable service. And on both occasions, the technician failed to appear. Now, the last appointment I had, I did call and it was confirmed that someone was coming. But lo and behold, what Optima is doing is they're erasing appointments for whatever reason. So this morning, when I attempted to speak with someone in customer service regarding this issue, despite the fact that I stated my name is Mr. Jose Negron, I kept getting addressed by the inappropriate gender 6 times. And I see here we have Irby in the chat. Good evening. Thank you very much for stopping by. So as a result, I had to speak with a supervisor. Now, this is the whole point. Now, I get it. My voice sounds a little bit high. But if I stated from the onset that my name is Mr. So-and-so, I shouldn't have to ask you to address me in the proper gender multiple times. Unfortunately, that was the case. So, for that reason, for both not keeping their appointments and not providing with proper customer service, they were the recipients of what the heck this is reward. Okay. Now, with that being said, what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop the link. Just give me a moment. And enter the link in the chat. Now, as I stated, tonight is open discussion. So I'm going to be discussing multiple topics. So the first thing I'm going to discuss is the controversy with Megan Moss we call Purdy thing. I think that's her name is. She is a female YouTube creator who has, I think, hundreds of thousands of subscribers. And she had made some unfortunate remarks in regards to both the Holocaust and slavery. And first of all, I'm not going to show the video clip. No, I'm going to play the video of the audio portion for fear that I might get hit with a copyright strike. Because my understanding is that this person strike people who happen to air her commentary, whether it be the video feed or the audio feed. Now, let me make this perfectly clear. Everyone has the right to say whatever the heck they want to say, okay? I do believe in freedom of speech. However, with that freedom, there is a responsibility. And as a YouTube creator, you need to be mindful of your audience. Now, the fact of the matter is this. There's no way to try to downplay what happened regarding the Holocaust. I mean, unfortunately, millions of Jews and millions of other people in Europe were deleted, so to speak, simply for the fact that they were not Aryan. And we also have the presence of Gigi. Good evening, Gigi. Thank you very much for stopping by. And I just want to remind everybody that Golden Goddess has her platforms, her YouTube channels, and also she does a podcast with motivational movement called Multi with Multi and Me. So I'm going to ask if you have not done so, that please check out her content. Now, getting back to this Pearly thing or whatever the heck her name is. She can say whatever the heck she wants. The problem is this: she has to be mindful that whenever a person says anything, there are consequences, whether it be minor or big. And the fact of the matter is, millions of people suffer because of the Holocaust, and millions of people suffer because of slavery. So, and of course, there's a huge uproar regarding that she should be censored, that her channel should be deleted, and so on and so forth. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm okay. Thank you very much. So this is my thing. I do believe in freedom of speech. I also believe the fact if you don't like a person's content, you don't have to watch it. I mean, look, there are literally millions of other YouTube creators where you can enjoy their content. If you do not like a particular creator's content, you are not obligated to watch it. And the same thing applies with my platform. If you find out that my content is not your cup of tea, you're not obligated to watch it. You can block me. You can go to any YouTube creator that you wish. That's right, facts. This whole thing about wanting to delete channels and censor people, what have you. Look, we need to be mindful and need to be careful, okay? Because remember, you can just as easily be the victim of someone trying to have your channel deleted as well. Now, there are certain YouTube creators that I don't care for. I don't like their content. What is the solution? Simple. I don't watch it. And besides, I got so many other YouTube creators which I enjoy their content, whether it be Golden Goddess, whether it be Motivation Movement, whether it be Latin Splaining, whether it be Radical Latino, what have you. So enough with the censorship. If you don't like a YouTube creator, just don't watch it. It's plain simple. Now, the next thing I'm going to be talking about is Donald Trump's arraignment in court this week. Now, unless you were hiding underneath a rock or suffering from amnesia, or basically you was asleep for 24 days and what have you, recently the former president of the United States, Donald Trump, was arraigned in court for 34 counts of business fraud. And of course, Donald Trump has a following called the mega crowd, or some people call it the mega cult. So, of course, when Donald Trump had to turn himself in for arraignment, you had a lot of people protesting both in favor of Trump and against Trump. You know what? I don't know. I do not know. One thing I do know, and even with the likes of Donald Trump, a person is innocent until proven guilty, whether it be proven guilty by evidence presented by the district attorney, or whether someone confesses. I think it is saying a lot that someone who's seriously thinking about running for president is arraigned in court for charges. Okay, now let me make this perfectly clear. Just because you are arraigned doesn't mean that you're guilty. Well, all that means is that you have been accused of something illegal. Okay, and mind you, there are other pending court cases. Some of them have to do with allegations of Donald Trump tampering with the results of the 2016 election. Also, the allegations regarding certain shenanigans dealing with Russia. So at this point, we really don't know what's going to happen. I do know that there are already millions of Americans that did not like Donald Trump. Yes, I agree, due process. Okay. But as I stated before, everyone, and I repeat, everyone is innocent. You know what? I don't know if Biden messed with the election. I have not seen any evidence regarding that accusation. I'm not saying that it didn't happen, or I'm saying that there is no evidence. Okay. And again, we must bear in mind that everyone is presumed innocent until guilty in a court of law. Okay. But will Donald Trump serve time? Mm, I don't know. To be perfectly honest, I know a lot of people would wish that he served time, but whether he does, that I don't know. Only time will tell. They will have to prove beyond the shadow of the doubt that Donald Trump is guilty, and not just because they don't like the guy. They have to prove in a court of law. So, and of course, whenever there is a man called Donald Trump, you have the mega crowd. Okay. Okay. You know what? This is going to sound weird. I think Joe Biden kind of it means well. However, he seems to be asleep at the wheel. I mean, Biden is almost 80 years old, and I know that there have been allegations that he might be senile. Okay. As far as making America great, let me put it this way. I think in some ways America is great, and I'm going to tell you how. America is great as far as its diversity of people. Okay. Because we have people from all over the world. So in that sense, America is great. And also what's great is that most people, if you put in the energy and the drive, you can succeed in what I know, Gigi. I love you anyway. No. Okay. But only time will tell what happens with Donald Trump. And according to some polls, they have Biden beating Trump. But at this point, we don't know. This is 2023. A lot can happen in a year. Okay. As I recall, Bush 41, as late as 1991, was way ahead in the polls. And we all know what happened the following year. He was defeated thoroughly by Bill Clinton. So anything can happen. Now, as far as the mega crowd, they're definitely a cult. I can say it without a doubt. They are a cult. I mean, the way they treat Donald Trump as some people treat him as a hero. Some people treat him as a messiah. You know what, Gigi? That is one point of view. But if there are allegations that were made, it is their duty to produce evidence stating that Donald Trump committed illegal activity. Okay, if Donald Trump did not, then the testimony and the evidence will prove it. You know what? It's possible we might have it's a possibility that Ron DeSantis might be the Republican candidate. We don't know. Yeah, they are. But you know what? Is the weirdest thing about the whole thing? That even now, as we speak, we have these evangelical Christians that still think highly of Donald Trump. Okay, now let's keep it 1,000. Let's keep it 1,000. The man's been divorced, married 3 times, divorced twice. His marriages end in divorce because of infidelity. Okay, so that is not exactly um, very Christ-like. Okay, and his speech at times does not want to believe he's a Christian. If he is, I don't know. I am not going to cast any judgment, yay or nay, regarding him. Yeah, yeah, I would have to agree. And the only reason why he's a player is that he has money, or better yet, it perceives to have money. Okay, let's keep it real. Uh, People will overlook people if they have a lot of money. Okay, that's not something, that's not a happy thing, but it's a reality. So with Donald Trump's up time, we will see. We will see. Now, one thing I do notice that it's been relatively quiet in the golden sphere. I mean, so far there has not been any crazy other than the usual dribble from the usual individuals um, regarding a person who has a platform that has less than 70 subs. So, the fact of the matter is, um, let's see. Right? Okay. Do we have issues? Yeah, I agree. Again, like I said, whatever you might think of the Manhattan District Attorney, and whatever you might think of the New York State District Attorney, okay, you might think whatever you might think. Somehow they perceive that they have a case against Donald Trump. So it's up to them to prove whether or not they do have a case or it's just a lot of hot air. Okay. So and again, I need to state clearly that everyone, you know what? We all know that a lot of politicians are crooks. We all know that. Okay. Unfortunately, it's like a I mean, it's almost like Sodom and Gomorrah, if you know what I mean. But getting back, it's been very quiet in the Golden Sphere. Will it stay quiet? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Now I'm just going to change the topic a little bit because of, let's see here. Yeah. You know what? I'm going to be, I compared this country to the Roman Empire, okay? And like the Roman Empire, they have their crisis, they have their moral decay, and they have a lot of internal strife. You know what? It's a possibility. It's a possibility. Now I know people don't like to hear it, but when you think about it, I mean, we're living in an age where there's instant communication, instant anything is instant, what have you. Are we gonna have a new world order? Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Now, of course, I'm gonna change the subject, and this is being Holy Week. Okay, some of you might not know that I'm a Christian. Some of you, it's very important. Well, it's important not just for me, but other Christians, because we think about the events that happened during this week with Jesus' entry into Jerusalem, and then later, towards the end of the week, we remember the Lord's Supper, and then we remember that same crowd that was cheering for Jesus, calling him a prophet, a Messiah, and what have you. They were calling for his blood and calling for him to be crucified. Okay. And before some people start to get all upset and what have you, we can be very fickle. We can be very fickle. We can root for someone one day, and then on the same day, we want the person dead. So what I would say about this week, it's a time for reflection. It's a time to meditate, and it's a time to think of other people other than ourselves. Now, I have a good question. Why did the evangelicals support Trump to begin with? Okay. And when I think about some of them treating Donald Trump like another, like he's a religious figure, or he's like another Jesus, I'm sorry. Oh my God. Gigi, I love your sense of humor. And you know what? You were truly missed in Discord. I said that before earlier today, and you were truly missed. I'm glad to see you back in Discord. Okay, I just want to say that. Okay. I just it just boggled my mind. Why evangelicals supported Donald Trump, and if you saw him, of course, he had the T-shirt, which was 45, which was meant from the Bible, Savior chapter 45, and he was the 45th president of the United States and all that. You know what? That's called blind leading the blind. Okay, but I'm not gonna lie. Okay, to a certain extent, you're correct. Okay, you're still okay. The media has not illustrated Trump in a favorable light. Okay. However, if you put that all aside, the fact of the matter is, he is rather egocentric. He does have a huge ego, okay, and that's something that he illustrated himself. Is New York? I agree. New York is very left. I mean, it's like we're like the bluest. We're like, I think the only states that maybe more blue might be California, but we're extremely blue here in New York. Okay, now I'm not gonna lie. Okay, Nevertheless, in 2016, it was just basically when you had this dude versus this chick. So you had two people that basically a lot of people did not like, but we had to pick one of them. So um, a lot of people could never accept the fact that a woman can be president. I think we will have a female president. I think we will. Unfortunately, they're gonna make her go through hell. Okay, they're gonna make her, and you know what? And one thing I noticed, they did it with John Kennedy was running. They did it when Barack Obama was running, and became president. And on the day that we elect a female in the White House, she's going to be under scrutiny. From day one. Anything that she does or does not do, it's going to be examined and it's going to be hyped up 50 million times. Okay. You know what? Um, Hillary wasn't exactly my choice. I mean, let's face it. Uh, to vote for who they think was the lesser of two evils. But that's neither here nor there. Now the next thing is going to be very controversial. And let me before I say my next point, let me make this perfectly clear. I do understand that slavery in this country was a horrible thing. Yes, we do need new politicians, okay? Um, but you know what's the problem? The problem is, in order to be successful, you gotta have huge truckloads of money, okay? Unfortunately, that's the state of politics here in the United States. So, um, let's see what was up. So as I was saying, slavery was horrible because what you did was it deprived people of their identity. Its families were separated. Women were raped. People were treated like chattel, and unfortunately, that was one of the causes of the Civil War, where hundreds of thousands of people died. Okay. You know what? I agree. Okay. I agree. Um, I think young people should get into politics. I mean, they cannot do no worse than the current group of politicians we have now. Okay. Now, look. I mean, take a look. Feinstein in California. She's almost like 1,000. Okay, and half the time she doesn't know her left arm from her right toenail. Okay, and then you have Joe Biden, which basically is half asleep all the time. So you know what? We could use some young blood. I agree. We do need young blood. Okay. Um, okay, and but you know what? One thing I have not seen that some members, and I said some members of the African American community, have a hard time getting past um, slavery. Okay. Now I understand it was a very traumatic experience. I understand it was painful. I understand that. However, to be constantly complain about slavery and not do anything for your community, I have a huge problem. Yeah, literally half asleep. I mean, look, I mean, if you listen to Biden half the time, he sounds incoherent. Okay, so and one thing, it's very easy to complain about something and complain, and play the victim. Okay, why I say that? First of all, because that takes away accountability. Okay, all right, okay, you had dealt with something traumatic. Okay, fine. Um, what you should do is use. Yeah, I know. Shaking hands with people who are not there. I know. Like I said, look, the lights are on, but no one's home. Okay, the lights are on, but no one's home. Okay, so if you really want to do something constructive regarding, the issue of slavery, okay, teach your children about it, and then to do what you can to empower yourselves so you can, help your community do better. Yes, I do believe Multi did say that. Okay. Now, if anybody, okay, I'm gonna drop the link again. If anyone wishes to join the panel. Okay. Now, the next thing I'm going to be talking about is the divestors. Now, let me make this perfectly clear. Everyone is free to do whatever they want. Okay? If you decide to date outside of your ethnic group for whatever reason, that's perfectly fine. What is the issue that I have is that when you okay, and this is particularly when it comes to African American women, some, not all. But when you treat African American men like trash and talking about deleting them and all that kind of crap, and the thinking, well, okay, well, if they go out with a Latino, or they go out with a white person, or they go out with an Asian person, everything is going to be fine. Everything's going to be a bed of roses. That they're better than that they're 10 bags of chips and what have you. Uh, Newsflash: men are men. Okay, you have some great men in every community, and you have trashy men. So that being said, I just want to let everybody know that the views of those who appear on the panel are not necessarily those of the host of the channel. Any attempt to copy material without the consent of the host is prohibited. By appearing on the call, you waive your rights to your image. Some of the abuse that people may hold may be considered offensive to some viewers. If you do not like the content, you can block the channel. And we're going to bring in.
Hey, Jose.
Good evening, Gigi. How you doing tonight?
Hey, honey. Good. I got background noise, so I'll be going in and out of mute, but I wanted to, come up and show you a little support.
Well, I appreciate it. I support you very much.
Yes, I appreciate it.
So what's on your
We're
mind,
going
Gigi?
in tonight, huh, Jose? We're the divestors, Trump, slavery. We going in tonight, huh?
Well, you got to think outside the box once in a while.
Exactly.
I mean, look, the whole point is to have a discussion. discussion. Now, I know that people who love Trump and I know who people who hate Trump. Okay. I get that. And, my thing is this, and I think people need to bear this in mind. Everyone is innocent until proven guilty. Don't you agree?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. But, it's like you have, okay, first of all, you have some people who are saying that Trump is guilty and they shouldn't throw the book at him. And then you have other people treating Trump like he's another Jesus. I'm sorry. I mean, uh, he's not another Jesus, okay? He's a man with his flaws and whatnot. So, but you know what's funny? Marjorie Taylor Greene went to Manhattan to show her support for Donald Trump, and she left immediately because she couldn't deal with the noise.
The noise of what? New York or Trump?
Actually, there was some whistleblowers, but actually, my understanding that the reason why they were blowing whistles, making whistle noises, because to block the people from the noises from the protesters against Trump.
Yeah, that's crazy to me. We are in a way worse condition now than we were when he was president, so it's just ridiculous.
Yeah. But you know what? I think we do need young blood. We do need young politicians with some fresh ideas to try to bring this country back to some sort of normalcy. Don't you agree?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Look, I know that people of my
But we do
generation.
need people that are not afraid to stand up for America and that are no bullshit. And so I did appreciate that about Trump.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. Okay. But it's just that it seems like we're guilty of doing 89 million things, and we may be guilty of some things, but not. I mean, it's like we're not Satan, okay? But we're not Jesus either.
Hold on one second.
Okay. Okay.
It's just kind of ridiculous because all these politicians cheat, all of people, they're just digging and digging and digging because they don't want him to run again because, he has a strong following.
Yeah, I understand. But you know what it. But you know what it is. Is like, and to be truthful, I never attended any of his rallies, but the reports are that even among his supporters, they're getting sick and tired listening to him talking about the 2020 election. And this is something that happened almost 3 years ago.
Well, I mean, when people rob you, you be pissed, right?
I agree. But it's just that if you're gonna make if you're going to make an accusation, you need to bring proof.
It's kind of difficult when the power to be against you, though. I mean, we have to be realistic here. Like right now, the
Yeah.
prosecutors over there are using the resources to harass Stock and mess with him, and that crime. Get inside. Go. Sorry, it's kind of difficult because I got noise and I keep going on mute. It's
No,
probably messing up your stream.
Gigi, a mother's work is never done. Believe me, I know. Okay. I'm not a parent. I don't have children, but I'm not naive either. But
quickly, and it depends on how long you go. If I come back or whatever.
well, look, that you're always welcome here. Now, believe it or not, I actually had a conversation with angry biracial in instinct in IG.
Oh yeah, how did that go?
Fine. He was asking me about my channel, and he was telling me about how uh, he's doing very well, which I'm happy he's doing well. Whatever. I mean, I would not choose the route that he's chosen, but everyone is free to choose whatever route they wish. And
Yeah.
and I know he has issues with the golden spear, and talking about how I should disassociate myself with the golden spear. I know, at the risk of sounding repetitive, I don't turn my back on my friends.
But what was his suggestion for you to join him in the gender war, or what was his suggestion
Well, he
towards
goes
you?
that if I really want my channel to prosper, um, to disassociate myself with the golden spear.
So,
Hey Don.
hey, how you doing?
Hey, Don, I'm on the home.
Hey, so I just came in and everything like that. So, how's everybody doing?
Oh, we're doing fine.
We're doing good, thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
I don't really have any words for angry. Kind of close that chapter, so
All right.
You know, this
What's
is
new about angry?
I
Because I
wish him
know.
the best, though. I'm glad he's doing well. I always knew he would do well. He's very entertaining. He's a great storyteller. I always knew that he would do well. So, I mean, I'm happy for him. Good for him. I don't really have anything negative to say.
mhm.
Yeah. The last thing I heard about angry biracial was that he and this other YouTube content creator Tanya TKO, they were getting into it, and he was about to and he said that he was gonna get in touch with his lawyers to file a defamation suit against her. But that was the last thing I heard. How you doing, Irby?
Okay. Oops. Looks like we lost Gigi temporarily. So hope maybe
All
she'll
right,
come back. Uh, but you know what? When it comes to that, it could be a difficult case to prove unless you're able to prove in the court of law
right,
that you was harmed maternally by by Prince remarks.
right,
But I have no issue with angry biracial. I mean, I'm cool with him. He's cool with me. It's just that he's chosen a different route, which is perfectly fine. Um, it's just that a
all
lot of his
right,
content is about how African American men are not, you know, not good, and always
right.
showing these clips of African American men misbehaving, what have you. Now, are there bad African American men? I agree.
Yes, but me personally is this right, and what a lot of people, and this is what I'm saying because maybe I might be ignorant about it, or maybe I might not be. Okay, but even though that everybody has called themselves the golden sphere or what have you, right? At
Yeah,
the end of the day, the consensus of I guess who actually rules the United States, the political parties or whatever, they're gonna still consider angry biracial as an angry black man, no matter how you put it. So therefore, he could make content about all the other stuff, But certain people will have to keep in mind that even though that he was talking about his history, with his father and his mother, etc. At the end of the day, the ruling parties, I mean, no offense to the Golden Sphere or whatever, but the ruling parties are still going to try to put everybody in one group, even though certain people want to separate themselves. That's all I'm saying. So people will just have to keep mind to that also.
Well, see, the thing regarding not just the Golden Sphere, but basically anyone um, where they're either biracial or multiracial or mixed or whatever,
Right,
just want to be respected, and have their own, identity, and that they don't want
right.
people to try to label themselves for them.
I actually respect that. But and the thing is though, it's like,
I'm sorry,
you
I
know,
missed
it
what you
might
said, Don. I had to put my kids down. What did you say? Because I had to put the kids down. I missed
all
it.
right, because it was like, all right, maybe I just came in late to the conversation, but I was saying that since Angry Biracial, right? He does his videos about bad African American men or whatsoever. I'm like, he can make those videos, but at the end of the day, right? Even though I was saying, like, no disrespect to the Golden Sphere or to the multi generational mixed or what have you, but what I'm saying is that you can make those videos, right? But then, even though that's people will try to separate themselves, it's the ruling party, or ruling parties, or rich people in the United States that's still going to try to consider um the angry biracials as still as a black man. That's the only thing I was saying. So not like no disrespect to anybody.
Well, I mean, I would say though, I didn't come to YouTube to separate anything or anything like that. I just came to have a mixed channel. But as far as, I mean, I doubt people look at Angry Biracial as a mixed man. He looks everything. I mean, a black man. He looks everything but black. But I mean, everybody has their own opinion.
Right.
Okay.
Hey
What's
Herbie, how
up,
you
everyone?
doing?
What's
Um,
up?
yeah, hello, Irby.
Y'all,
Hey,
y'all
Irby.
can, hey, y'all can hear me?
Yeah, I hear
Yes.
you.
Yeah.
All right.
Did you want to add anything to that, Irby, or no?
Yeah, I disagree with Don on what he said about the angry thing. When I first saw Angry, he don't look black to me. He don't look like a black man to me.
No,
I
he looks like
mean,
a Arab or something, right?
I mean, if you
Yeah, he
actually
look
look
like
at it, right?
Hispanic.
Yeah, I mean, he could pass for Hispanic. But then with anybody and the phenotypes or whatever the case may be, right? I mean, you actually have people who are of mixed who actually consider themselves of the golden spirit that could actually pass for Hispanic, and none will be the wiser. So it's like that sometimes.
But that's what I'm saying, because you say they call you black and they gaslight you in the same way, although you're, of Hispanic
Yeah,
descent. So, I mean, you're kind of in the same boat, you know,
I
because then they could
mean,
turn
yeah,
around and
I
say the
mean,
same thing to
yes, it
you that you're
is.
just black, you know?
Hmm. And to me, it's like it's funny because it's like even though that a person will go and try to bash one group and stuff, from what I'm saying, not like as phenotype or anything like that. I mean, the reason why I'm saying this, right, is that even though that people want to separate themselves, whatsoever, right? And certain people make divisive videos of anything, you know, the black man this, the black man that, or whatsoever, right? The long, but you have to ask yourself, what is the long term goal? Is the long term goal is to educate people, or the long term goal is to divide people even more. That's one thing you have to see. And me personally, from certain people within my own community and all the others, it's funny because most of the people who are trying to gaslight me or anything like that would not ever come to my face to say it. And then, second of all, I'm not going to go around and say I'm the most highly competent or most intelligent person on this earth. But I'm seeing a lot of chinks in the armor of how some of these red want to be red pill, want to be alpha male portraying YouTube content creators try to talk over people and everything like that. And then when a person actually puts them in their place, they want to block them and then make videos of saying how they're a traitor to their cause and everything like that. When the fact is, the cause that you're fighting, that people who are actually portraying what it is and this is my thing, like for the mixed, the African Americans and Hispanics, you have an agenda of certain people that are actually pushing white supremacy, but yet they just start as seeds. You might think like, okay, that guy's a good speaker and everything like that. But then when it's down the line and you see that person has nothing but to build money or downgrade his own people, you'll actually see that there's certain people who are just little pockets of white supremacy. So I'm just beginning to see that even more now since it's 2023. And I'm trying to distance myself from that.
Let's bring Irby into the conversation. So let's give him an opportunity to speak. What are your thoughts, Irby?
Like what? Yeah, all over the place.
Okay. Well, like I said, of course, we talked about Perry things and what she said about slavery and the Holocaust and the whole big, the boom regarding Donald Trump and whether he's guilty or not. And I think people need to understand that he's innocent until proven guilty. And then, some of the other things I talk. Basically, this is a night where we can talk about anything and everything.
Yeah. I'm gonna comment on the Trump thing.
Okay.
I think the ambulance chasing. I don't think the ambulance chasing. You agree?
Okay. And you base this on what?
They don't got nothing on him, really. That's my opinion.
Well, you know what? Time will tell. Time will tell.
Yeah, I might be.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, I might be wrong, but I don't think so. Well, other than he did pay the porn star, I'm not lying on that.
But they're not wasting their time chasing down. They're not wasting their time chasing down all the other politicians that's paid people off, though. Absolutely not. They're focused on Trump, right? Yeah.
Exactly. Well, he's a threat, though. GG.
Yeah, but as far as the whole divisive thing, I feel like everybody gets that confused. That's why I kind of stopped using the golden sphere, quote unquote, label, because everybody puts you in the same box. All these people are here for different reasons. This is YouTube. You know what I'm saying? So just because one channel's divisive doesn't mean that everybody else's channel is divisive. These are all individuals with their own channels.
But they lump all of us in it when they want to attack something.
Yeah. I don't think claiming to be biracial is divisive. If anything, it's claiming both sides of you. I don't think that's divisive, and I don't think it's separating either.
Nope.
I agree to that. The only thing is which I'm actually seeing is that I'm just saying from my personal observation, not nobody in this panel, but I'm seeing like even on TikTok that you seeing little pockets of certain people who are actually promoting white supremacy. So it's not only for our respective communities. You're seeing it in the Asian community too. So it's crazy.
Yeah. I definitely can't deny that there are some crazy ass people out here. And they
Um,
I'm,
all seem to
I'm
be on
okay,
social media.
okay. I just want to welcome my cyber son-in-law. Good evening, MK. I hope that you're doing well tonight. I
What up,
know
MK?
that
Mm.
I
AMK.
know that I know you're happy about Grayson. I mean, he does look like a mini MK.
Oh,
Yeah, he actually
let me
does.
let me answer the comment he made.
Yeah, he kept saying that it's a reflection of real life.
I'm gonna say I'm gonna say half of it
You
at
know,
least.
I mean, I
okay.
agree with I agree with MK to a point because if you actually look at it, right, most one thing that I'm actually seeing, sorry, one thing that I'm
Bless
actually
you.
seeing, yeah, is that some some of these YouTube content creators, the ones that want to be ultimately disrespectful and everything, they either have no life, and two, they they just living a miserable existence where they going to call themselves a conqueror and everything like that. But then when you see that a lot of them barely be online or show their camera, they want to actually tell try to make the world convinced that they're this great speaker and that they're known in their neighborhood. When the fact is, I could ask around in their respective neighborhoods and nobody knows them. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, but you know something? The fact of the matter, you're constantly going around saying that you're the greatest thing since sliced bread. You're not so great to begin with. Okay. The fact of the matter is, if you're truly great, it's going to be reflected in the way that you carry about yourself.
Right.
Jose, I gotta step down, y'all. But it was fun
Go ahead,
talking to
Ray.
y'all.
It was good speaking to you, Irby.
All right. Well,
If
thank you very
anything,
much for stopping by, Irving.
Huh?
if anything, if anything, Irby, I'm about to have a show tomorrow, so you could come through too.
All right, I see. But good night to all of y'all. Good night,
All
Gigi,
right, good night.
Don,
Good
Good night.
night.
Jose. Good
Good
night.
night.
Peace,
Good
y'all.
night.
Bye,
Peace.
Irby.
Okay.
I think in some kind of ways it's a reflection of society, but it's like amplified times like a million because people get behind their little keyboards and stuff and say all the things that they don't really have the balls to say in real life, you know?
Well, Don Armando has actually met me a couple of times in real life. So he's you see, so with me is what you see is what you get. Now,
Same here.
I mean, look,
Yeah, me too. I'm the
I
same in
mean,
real
look.
life.
Let me tell you something. The first time that we met up in which it was in Philadelphia, okay, and I was attending a convention. So, and of course, I know I'm not, I am known by the people around my circles. So the fact of the matter is, when we were eating, there was a lot of people that just happened to know me,
Hmm.
and I didn't
I
have to
agree
go
with
on saying I'm the greatest things.
And then, as you know, I invited you to the Dominican parade and the Bronx Dominican parade in the Grand Concourse in NYC.
Yes.
And I'm not gonna go around and say it, but you know, I guess the same happened to me too. I don't know. So I'll let you tell it, Don Jose.
Well, I mean, let's keep it let's keep it 1,000. It's like when we're eating have enjoying our meal, breaking bread. It's like every 5 seconds, someone will greet me. Someone will say hello. Someone say hello. Someone say hello. Okay, and again, I don't have to toot my own horn. I mean, I have a reputation that speaks for itself.
Yep.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
me,
and I don't think it's psychotic to take online beef seriously because these people are psychotic and they do reach out and mess with people's real lives. So you should definitely
I
take
mean, I
everything
mean, yeah.
serious.
It's like, okay, for example, right? And it's certain people that we found out who, that they love doxing and everything. So my thing is this, right? And I'm just putting it out there or anything like that. I'm the wrong person to dox because a person could do whatever, and I'm just putting this as a disclaimer. Certain
Mhm.
people might try to take the law and might use the law. I just take the law in my own hands, and that's all I'm saying.
Okay. But you know what's a funny thing? What helped me in my preparation with dealing with some of these characters in these YouTube streets? Dealing with weird characters as a union rep. Okay? Because people like to think, oh, the weirdos, you know, if I'm not dealing with members who are not all there, sometimes I'm dealing with union reps that are not all there. So that kind of helped me prepare to deal with some of these unique characters in these YouTube streets, which I like to refer to as the circus. Okay. Now I know with Dynamano sometimes he cannot, he's muted because they have some background noise. Um, and you just want to make sure that okay, that no, it doesn't get filtered out here.
Right.
Okay.
I mean, okay, like for example, like to me, I could say that some of my preparation to deal with these idiots are just real life. I mean, me personally, I'm from the Bronx. I worked in a call center where I just said my name and I've had a whole bunch of indecent proposals over the phone. So I guess over the years I did work in the call center, um, it had me it had me develop a thick skin for a lot of the childish insults that I have came across here. Now, I'm just gonna let you know how I came across these childish individuals. I just went on another man's channel that that his family come from the same place where my family comes from, and then a lot of these guys want to go and try to tell me that I'm not this and I'm not that. And during last year, I had to curse out somebody because they want to talk disrespectful out of their mouth about touching my wife. So with that said, that guy or that individual, he has a history of saying that to a lot of people. So my thing is that I'm not going to even take him seriously because there was once a point in time that I was actually going to see that individual and that I saw that individual and I was thinking about breaking his jaw. Thank God I didn't because This guy, he actually makes himself look bad at all times. And my thing is that this person has been on YouTube, I guess, since 2020. And he still doesn't have 1,000 subscribers. So I don't I don't know. I think these racists are just dying off. That's all I gotta say.
Well, the fact of the matter is, you can only continue to publish so much garbage after a while until it gets to the point when people get sick and tired of listening to it, and then they'll just turn out, and listen to somebody else. I remember, I'm just going to share something that happened 3 years ago. Okay. I had a virtual consultation with an attorney from my union to discuss some personal matters, and the attorney was having some technical difficulties. So I was trying to assist the attorney. You know what the attorney said? And pardon my French, he actually said to me, "Fuck you."
Yeah, I remember that story, and something ended up happening to him, right?
Yeah. Okay. Well, maybe first of all, I didn't. First of all, I didn't curse him back. I didn't argue with him. You know what I did? I actually called the administrator to the welfare fund, and I filed a complaint. And the person was not allowed to do any more intakes regarding legal consultations.
That's how you do it, man. I mean, me personally is this. Since you've been having an important yep. Oh, Hazel, how you
Yeah.
doing? Long, t- long time no see.
Yes,
I
long
mean,
time no see.
yo, Hazel, I got a show tomorrow, so therefore you're welcome to come through. I mean, like I'm like, yo, it's been a while. Jeez.
Well, I do know for a fact. Okay, well, let me rephrase it. I suspected that Hayes has been very busy because she is a parent, and she has to she's taking she's has to deal with her children and other responsibilities. Hazel, correct me if I'm wrong, but that is the case. But it's always a pleasure to see you in the chat. And yes, I actually did curse. Yes.
Girl.
But this is open discussion, like everybody. So what basically we'll talk about anything and everything. I just decided to start out with Donald Trump and Miss Pearly things, whatever, regarding her remarks regarding slavery and the Holocaust.
All right, you want to know what this is one thing that I'm seeing, and I don't know. The last part of the news I guess I actually heard is regarding Donald Trump, and then Top G Emory Andrew Tate II, also known as Andrew Tate, has been released from prison. So I'm not too
Yeah.
much. I'm not too keen with his movement, but I have seen a lot of clips about him and everything like that. So it's like, okay, like one thing I could actually say that I'm impressed about Andrew Tate is how he just came out from obscurity. I mean, me personally, I'm like,
Mhm.
people could be kickboxing and everything like that, but prior to that, I didn't know who he was. I'm gonna be honest. And then the next thing you know, they're like, yo, this guy's worth like 300 and something million. And I guess he has a educational platform which is called Hustlers University. So, what is your take? I'm saying of Andrew Tate's success, and I guess his platform that
Oh,
caters to men being the best version
okay.
of
To be
themselves.
perfectly honest, okay. To be perfectly honest, I am not familiar regarding the man, so I would prefer not to speculate. Good evening, Melanated Night.
What's up, Jose? How's it going?
Hey, Melanated
Oh, I'm
Night.
doing fine. How
Hey,
you
Don
been?
Armando. Pretty good, man. Just here with Gray.
Yeah, that's what's up.
Okay. What you.
Hey, can you say that again?
So, so MK, what's on your mind?
Oh, I wanted to expand on what I was saying about the YouTube comment because I only got like a few minutes before I gotta go. Uh,
All right.
but
Okay, go
what I
ahead.
was trying to explain is like even with us arguing on YouTube, I had to come to a realization that most of the times that we're arguing about nothing and then we can turn it off. I understand there's people out here trying to dox and stuff. I don't support that. And I think those people who do it, YouTube should have a team that automatically tracks them down, shuts off their access to YouTube for a personal account permanently. And then the FBI can get involved with cyber crimes and stuff like that. But the way people are using YouTube now is to have conversations as if we were face to face. And I know people hide behind avatar. I've shown my real face, which is why I just use the avatar now because I've shown it already. I don't think I need to show it again.
Thank
But
you.
people are feeling so emboldened by these pictures that they feel like they can talk to you any type of way. And even with people with actual pictures have to admit they be talking to people any type of way. So it's like this is real life. The only thing difference is we're just going at each other because it's easy. But we still disrespecting each other as if we would in actual life because people just they don't have anything to hide. They have something to hide on here. And I
I,
need people to like start understanding like as tech evolves, online gets more real. So keep trying to say that this is not real and it's not going to get there in a few years. It's going to merge. We're just going to be talking online in a few more years. So you
I,
got to keep that in mind.
I mean, and then if you really look at it, Night, right? I mean, okay, I'm gonna say this. You know, when people are actually doxing each other and everything like that, you know what is the progenitor of that? Don Jose and M Night.
What?
But the progenitor of that was AOL chat and Yahoo chat. The reason
Mm-hmm.
why I say that, right, is because okay, when I was like it's like all the crap that we've gone through now, right? It
Yeah.
is like reminiscent of the crap that I'm saying for my I can't really speak on anybody else's, but I'm saying like the crap around my era that everybody did and everybody went through what people are would consider doxing right now. People did that and actually ruined lives. I'm saying like as far as pictures and whatsoever the case may be. I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, people were doing that, but then there wasn't any ramifications for it because it was just people that they were just you know mean spirited, and they
Yeah.
and
I
they
had
thought
someone claim to drop. to dox me, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, Denise is already on here with her real face and her name. So I'm like, I'm just using M Night because I wanted to create another whole channel. This one just became my primary. But I'm like, my name, I'm like, it ain't no point of me hiding it. My real name is Justin, and I've put my picture up several times. And I said at some point, if you want to prevent doxing, you probably just have to dox yourself. Not all your information, but like your name and who you are. Because at this point, like trying to hide it is like is a fool's errand. People
I
gonna
mean,
find out who you are. A lot of people are more tech savvy than people in the past. So
like with me, right? Like, there's only one time that I actually put I put my real name out there and everything like that, right? And when I did, anybody that would have had a thing to dox me or whatever the case may be, they couldn't because I don't even think that the people who are against me wouldn't even know how to dox right. Let's be honest. Um,
because most are not gonna figure out your if they do, it's like okay, like my information ain't already online. But the thing is, like I said, you just gotta put yourself out there.
I mean,
You
like
know,
for
hey,
example, if I put my real name out there, and I'm, I'm still getting people still trying to say that this is not my name or anything like that because my whole existence and I guess goes against the narrative what certain people are trying to put. So
yeah, but
therefore, I put my whole real name right there, right?
mm-hmm.
Anybody could do their research. But you know what's funny? Not a lot of these guys are going to do the research, right?
Well, they because they're not trying to look. They're not trying to look too deep to your life. A lot of them just trying to find like certain aspect of who you are, which is
Yeah,
why they don't dig too deep into
yeah, yeah,
anything else.
yeah, exactly. And you know what's funny? Because if they were to really dig right there, they will know that they'll always be wrong, and they know that they're wrong. So it's
Yeah.
it's a joke to me sometimes
Yeah, we
because
gotta treat it like it is because, like I said, I know YouTube and the real world are merging, but I'm a very private person at times, and I only let certain people in my circle, like on Instagram and Facebook. I barely post, barely. So
I
I
know. I
try to
mean,
keep it separate. But when people like, I think I was talking to one of my coworkers at work about something that happened on YouTube. And that's why I said, well, people start looking at you like you psychotic because they be like, why are you listening to somebody on YouTube who don't know you from a hill of beans? Why do you care?
me personally, it's like the crap that I went through last year and everything like that. It's it's to the point that I'm like, and me personally, when you talking about the real world and everything merging, I went on a trip to handle a family matter overseas, right? So when I went on the trip and everything, me and my sister we were talking. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna move like my pops. She was like, okay, so just don't do certain stuff. So therefore, even if I posted certain pics, like while I was there or anything like that, I might have posted them afterwards. Where I was after I left where I was at overseas, or let's say for Instagram, you know that they have the app for close friends. So whenever I posted pictures while I was overseas, I only posted my pictures my to my small circle that I have on Instagram. So in that way, it'll be like, okay, I posted this pic, but not the whole world's gonna see it.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it is. Yeah.
And talking about that. Um, not for nothing, and maybe And maybe you might be familiar with this term, melanated night. Because of social media, a lot of people are being backdoored now. And I even heard that certain rappers, I guess, like maybe in the crux of 2 to 5 days, have been unalived. And some people are actually speculating that they might have been backdoored. What is your thoughts about that, M
I
Night?
don't know that term. That's new to me.
All right, so I'll explain that term. Backdoored is like, okay, let's say we're just using I'm just using all three as an example. You, me, we're just walking, right? And we
Hmm.
meet up with Don Jose, right?
Yeah.
We all talking. But then all of a sudden, while we thinking that one might be, we might just having a meeting or whatever, the next thing something crazy happens, like a person might be unalived, or a person might be robbed of their chain. So the
Hmm.
thing is, though, so therefore, when you think that you're going to get a product or service, nine
Hmm.
times out of ten, you might be coming out in the worst situation that you left before. That's what backdoor means.
Ah, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's weird, man. That's weird. Oh, one more thing. Be careful too if you're a content creator of people purposely uploading your content to get it flagged because some people can draw information from that. Believe it or not, I saw it off a drama with some gaming channels that people were going back and forth with. This dude took the video, purposely uploaded it, and got a copyright because he knew that wasn't his stuff. And they used the information to get his email. From that, you can get, your bank information, everything basically.
Gotcha.
So unless you gonna
Mhm.
have like a spare email, because some people will be like, "Oh, it's common sense to have another email." Some people don't. Some people just use their email, everyday email, connected to everything on YouTube. So,
All right. I mean, yeah,
Mhm.
I got several of that. So that's a
Yeah.
good that's a good
Well,
thing.
I have. Well, I have it. Well, you see, I have several emails myself. I have like 2 or 3 personal emails, email from my employer. Okay. But the fact of the matter is, I was very naive regarding a lot of the stuff that happens here in these two streets. But I have been educated sometimes the hard way.
yeah,
I mean,
YouTube streets are not that. I don't know, Jose. Like as I get older and looking at the stuff that I did on YouTube, I was like, was it really that important for me to hop on a panel and argue with somebody for 5, 6 hours over something? Because I think people on YouTube, when you have conversations and stuff, where you after a while you have it amicably and you guys are able to just talk like adult, then it starts getting out of control because people are purposely what's the word?
misinterpreting your
Yeah,
word.
misinterpreting you. And they're not really listening. They're not really trying to understand what you're saying. They're just trying to argue back because it's not that a lot of these conversations on YouTube we have, it's not that hard. Even like with
Exactly.
dating, like when I talk about dating, I talk to dudes about like you gotta get you a woman. Like after a certain age, it's time for you to just get a woman. Stop complaining. And with the women, I tell the women, don't be like, oh yeah, go ahead, you tell it. No, you got issues to work on too. It's both sides. We don't have to have a
Yeah.
long, drawn out argument over that shit. Just both of you fix what you got to do and do it. But
My
if
my
that turns into like a 9 hour stream,
Yeah, like for example, right? On my stream, right? And I'm not gonna go around and mention the parties. There was two parties that they did not get along or whatsoever the case may be. So what I said though, like this is my channel. There's not gonna be cursing or there's not gonna be anything. So the two men, they actually talked it out, like their preferences or their past internet beefs or whatever. And on a note, I could actually say that these men, they actually made up. They actually were talking civilly and everything like that when each of them went up and talked their issues. And I could actually say that was a positive stream that, I actually got certain people to actually make up and talk their differences amicably, like how people in the grown world, in the modern world, are supposed to do it. So one thing that I think I'm just gonna do, I guess, um, when we all get there, I'm trying to see how maybe this year I might try to have 1,000 stubs. But if not, you know, I'm gonna try to branch out to do other things as well.
Yeah. Well, when I created my platform,
Hey Jose, I
okay,
gotta go.
I didn't have a
If
lot
I
of
got,
rules. Well,
I I was
well,
saying
thank
I
you for
gotta
stopping by,
go.
MK. Give,
If I got some time, I'll come back
okay,
up.
give,
Thank,
All right,
well, give my love to the better half, please.
will do.
Thank you.
All right, bye.
Okay. So, as I was saying, Don Armando, when I created my channel, I didn't have a lot of rules. Okay, basically, you can say whatever you wish. Just have to be respectable to everyone involved. Okay, and one person speak at a time, and you don't try to dominate the conversation. Okay, which led me to block a couple of people um, from my platform. Okay, because when everything is said and done, I'm trying to create a safe space for everyone to share their point of view.
exactly. So, with that said, I'll have to leave. I might have to leave. Thank you for having me on your panel,
Well, thank you
and
very much.
and hopefully tomorrow I'll have on my panel. So therefore, anybody who's listening or anything like that, you're welcome to chime in. So stay blessed, people.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Take care. So, at this point, I think I'm going to start to wrap this up a little bit. I think it was a fairly good stream. I mean, of course, when you do speak about multiple issues, sometimes it does, create a lot of activity. As always, I want to thank Irby, MK, Don Armando, Hazel, Gigi, and I know Gigi, it's okay that you have to drop down. I mean, it happens. Okay. Like I said, our mother's work is never done. Um, and of course, I appreciate all those who appeared on the panel, Gigi, Danamando, Irby, and Melanie Knight. And of course, I appreciate everyone that appeared on the chat. Okay. Now, I'm going to be doing a stream on Saturday on my other channel called Latina Diaspora. I have not developed a topic. I will have a topic for Saturday. Most likely, it's going to be a short stream. What I will be doing is I will be posting it on my community tab that's I have on both channels, and plus I'm going to list that as well. on Instagram. Now, this Tuesday, again, I'm going to have an interesting topic. And the name of the topic is the Victimization Olympics. Now, you're probably wondering what the heck this is. You have certain groups of people that like to play victim and they like to blame everybody for their own personal mistakes that they made. They like to blame everybody but themselves. So what we're going to do is we're going to have a discussion regarding that. We're going to try to find out what causes it, and we're going to see what we can do to deal with the subject. Okay. I hopefully we will have a nice interaction with people in the chat and with the panel, because we have seen several groups of people playing the victim. Okay. But of course, let me make this perfectly clear. This is not an attempt to attack any group of people. Okay, this is not an indictment against any group of people. However, you have to speak the truth, and you have to speak it in the spirit of clarity and in love. So, in any case, so I will be doing that stream Tuesday at 9 o'clock. Now, normally I do a stream on Thursday night. Okay. Now, the next 2 Thursdays, I'm not going to be doing a stream. First of all, tomorrow is Holy Thursday, so I'm going to be in church. And the following Thursday, I have a commitment which I plan to keep. So after Tuesday's stream, I'll probably do it either Wednesday or Friday. Okay. So moving forward, I'm going to try to do 2 streams per week on my main channel. And the reason for that is I want to do try to do a little bit more refinement regarding the topics that I will be discussing. Okay, so that's the reason why. Again, I would appreciate it if you have not done so. Please subscribe, hit the like button, and set the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever I do produce content, you will have the opportunity to catch it live or catch it on the playback. And of course, it's always a pleasure to see Hazel in the chat. Okay. So that being said, I just want to say to everyone, let's be good to each other. And if I don't see you hear from you before Sunday, I hope that all of you have a wonderful Easter or Passover, and for all our Muslim brothers who are in the time of Ramadan, may it be a time for you to get closer to Allah. That being said, this has been another episode of Uncommon Sense with Jose Negron. I thank you very much. And of course, all of you are welcome to enter comments about the stream after this is over. Just try to keep it respectable. Okay? That being said, I'm going to bid all of you good night. Take care and peace.
Be strong.